Okay, so we're now basically going to look at how to use the lot size calculator. You know, it's one of our latest indicators. You know, I would say if you're watching this, you know, to go to the Telegram group and you know, see what other indicator you can find. And I can tell you there are lots of them out there that would be useful to you. Now, to basically, I already have it installed on this particular broker, on this particular chart. You know, so what I'm going to be doing is basically just picking it up, as it were, from the Navigator window. You know, for those who don't have it installed or those who are not sure how to install it, there is a 20-minute video which I did, which basically shows you how to install indicators, custom indicators, that is. You know, custom indicators as opposed to default indicators that come with the MT4 originally. You know, we have a number of custom indicators which we install, and there's a video that would show you how to do that. So I would advise you watch that. So to actually pick it up and place it on the chart, you will go to the Navigator window. And to do that, you will come up here. You will go to, you basically go to View, click on Navigator, and this is the Navigator window. You know, like I say, you know, I have it here already. All these are different indicators. So let's look for that particular indicator, which we call the GWT lot size calculator. Now, GWT stands for Generational Wealth Traders, which obviously is what our website is going to be known as, generationalwealthtraders.com. Okay, so because we have it installed on there, in here already, what you will simply do is just to drag it onto the body of the chart, or you double click on it and it brings it up. So let's just double click on it and it brings it up like so. What you would then do is to basically, you know, change, you know, some of the values in here. Now, it is a lot size calculator, which obviously means it helps calculate and suggest what lot size you should use. That's the risk ratio. We usually advise that you trade between 1% to 2% of your account on regular trades. Obviously, if you are scalping, then you will go for more trades. You will go for more, well, a slightly bigger lot size. But if it's a regular trade, we advise you use 1% to 2%. So in this case, let's go with 2%. I mean, currently there it says 0.5%. So let's go for 2. And then you would also include your stop loss. I mean, let's just use any amount there. Let's change it from 50 pips there. Let's go for, say, 62 pips. So that's basically all you need to change, you know, as it relates to it working out a suggested lot size for you. This talks about the text size, and this talks about the corner. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to bring up the lot size on the screen. Even as you have other indicators out here, you can see them here. There's this one, which is known as the market price indicator. You know, as of the time the market closed on the Friday, you know, the price of Euro USD was 1.08734. So that was the closing price. So we call it market price. This, on the other hand, currently says 0.0. That's the pip counter. You know, because the market is closed and there was no trade on, you know, before the market closed, so it was at 0. So if the market then opens and I enter a trade, obviously the figures there will begin to change. It will be a plus if I'm in profit, and it will be a negative or a minus if I'm in a drawdown. So these are the other indicators there. Now, as it relates to the corner, we're going to be bringing up the lot size indicator now. And I usually like to have mine at the top left-hand corner there. So I'm going to change the corner to 4. So, this is 4. This is 3. That's 4 is the top left. 3 is the opposite side, which is the bottom right. This is 1, and this is 2. So I've just changed it to 4 now. It's going to be coming up there. The font size, the default is 12. I prefer to have mine as 10. I don't want it all too big and bogus there. So we're going to then click on OK. We've changed all the values here. We're going to click on OK, and it will bring it up there. Now the text color is white. I mean, I would rather have white. If I change it to red, it will be red. So let's see what's going to happen now. We see it brings that up. So we can then close the Navigator window anyway, since we have that now. So it tells us that the suggested price for the price, the lot size that it's suggesting you use here would be 0.4 lots. It takes into account the lot size calculator. Our lot size calculator takes into account your account size. This, for instance, is an account which is slightly over £11,000. So it works that for you automatically. It picks it up. We didn't have to type it in. It just picks it up because it's already in there. So obviously, what we needed to type in was just the stop loss and the percentage. Now let's go and see if we can adjust it. As you can notice there, it also tells you the spread. I mean, obviously the market is closed now. It says the spread is 8 pips. We know hardly any broker, if any broker, gives you an 8 pip spread for Euro USD. Because Euro USD is a major pair, they tend to give you the least number of pips, maybe maximum 2 or sometimes 3, but not 8. So it's just because the market is closed. Now, if we wanted to bring it up again to adjust it, you simply just click anywhere here, right click, go to indicator list or indicators list, because it has all the different indicators. Like you see here, market price is there, pip counter is there, and the lot size calculator is there. So if we want to adjust it, we basically just double click on it. It brings it up. You can see this is what we chose. This is the figure, or these are the values we chose. Let's go with, let's say we're trading with 5% of your account. I wouldn't recommend you do that unless you know what you're doing. You'll be putting yourself in a whole lot of risk. Let's go with 5 lots and 5% of our account. That basically means you are trading 5%. You're placing a trade, one single trade, and you're risking 5% of your whole account. So if, for instance, you have an account size of £100, if you are risking 5%, it means you can only lose a maximum of 5%, which is £5. So that's basically what it means. So let's just change the percentage risk. We will leave everything else the same. This is the current, the previous lot size it suggested. So let's see what it's going to suggest this time. Click on OK. By the time you close this, it comes up. So you can see here, the lot size is saying you should trade 1.06 lots. I mean, you are trading a bigger percentage of your account, so you're going to be using a bigger lot size. So what you want to do anyway, having chosen your lot size, you will go save it as a template, so that whenever you open any other currency pair, you basically just go there and click on what you've chosen. You can see here I've saved it as GWT lot size calculator. But let's change that now. Let's change it to what we would realistically use, because if you are going to be using it for a different pair and you forget that you chose a high lot size there, by the time you open a different pair, that is going to be working with what you saved it as. It's going to be working with your last saved values. So let's just change that. Let's change that and leave that at 2, because like I say, we usually recommend 1 or 2% of your account size. So we'll click on that. Close that, and it tells you that's the lot size to use. So like I say, you would then come here to the template tab, the tab for the template, click on there, you click on save template because you're going to be saving it at least for you. It brings this up and you will have to choose a name. Just type in whatever name you want to call it. I have called mine GWT lot size calculator. You know, let's just, for the sake of it, let's just type in a different name. Let's just call it weekly session. Let's call it weekly training. Call it weekly training. You click on save. Okay, so we go there now. We're not going to save now because we've saved it. We're not going to bring it up. So let's go down the list and look for weekly session. It's not here, so let's scroll. And we can see it at the bottom there. I hope you can see it. It says weekly session. You know, you click on it and obviously to bring it up. Now, what we're going to do, let's go to a different pair. Okay, we've gone to a different pair now, which is Euro USD. We can see the lot size calculator is not there. Okay, let me, just in case you didn't quite see that, let's look for Euro USD here. Euro USD. Oh, yeah, well, we'll just go with any pair. So let's go with that. Okay, well, it's saved anyway, it's saved as default, so it wouldn't. So let's go to a chart where it's not saved. Okay, so it's not here. If you go to your template, your template section, you look for the weekly training, you click on it, you see it brings it up for you. So that's what happens. And I would always advise each time you add a new indicator or robot to your chart, you always save it as the template. You save it as a template so that whenever you are wanting to trade a different pair, you basically just choose it there, it brings it up. Now, one thing I also do, which obviously you just noticed, when I went there and chose any pair, it's basically there because I have saved this as the default, which means any new pair I open, because it's saved as default, it would come up with that particular template. Now to save as a default, you will basically click on save and just type in default. I mean, I'm sure it will come up for you, but if it's not there, just type in default and that will be the pair that opens, that will be the template that opens up for you each time you open up a pair.